Welcome to today's podcast. It is your co-host Paula,
And your co-host, Robin.
and we are perfectly unstable. We are your daddies on the go where we talk about life and relatable challenges. So grab your coffee.
And let's get right into it.
Okay, so how was your week? What happened this week?
Just chilling. Didn't have class all week, so
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
so her earring came off,
Yeah.
and that's how it happened this week.
Yeah, that's all that happened. Period.
Went to
Thanks for
McDonald's,
listening.
got iced coffee, nothing new,
Mhm.
and yeah, just chilling at home. How about you?
Don't ask me about this week. This was a very challenging week for me. A lot of stuff happened academic wise, sorry. Just a lot of stuff happened where my anxiety was through the roof. Through the
Law
roof.
school things,
Through the
law
roof.
subject things,
But
are you surprised? No.
So I don't know. I was very challenged this week. It took a toll on my mental health, but I'm here, aren't I? Yeah,
As long as you're here, standing up.
with me. Yeah. So yeah, that was my little update for this week. But since this Sunday, I believe, May 8th, that is Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. By the time this comes out, it's Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. So we wanted to use this episode and dedicate it to our beautiful and strong mothers out there.
Mm-hmm.
So so let's get right into it.
So we're gonna share some stories about our experiences with our own moms.
Yeah.
So I thought it was appropriate since birth is the beginning of life. Let's tell our mom's birth.
Birth stories.
Our birth stories.
Our mom's birth. I don't know how far that is. But no,
Our
go
mom's
ahead.
birth stories. So I only know this story because my mom told me so many times. So
Mhm.
and it's pretty interesting. My mom is a very spiritual, awakened person.
Mhm.
She doesn't live a spiritual life. She doesn't have gems or stones or lit lights, candles. She, for some reason, she just has a connection with the spiritual world. She didn't ask for it.
Mhm.
So one night she was having a dream, and at this time she was already pregnant.
Uh-huh.
And in her dream, a guy came up to her and was like, "Joanne, you're gonna give birth. You have to get ready now. They're waiting for you."
Like she was sleeping and this happened.
She was dreaming, so this is happening in her dream.
Mhm.
So this a guy came up to her and said that, and she woke up and used the bathroom and saw,
Blood.
yeah, and she was like, "Oh shit, I have to go."
Yeah.
So they brought her to the hospital, and she was chill. She wasn't feeling any pain. She wasn't mid giving birth yet, and she was waiting, and they saw, the doctor saw her centimeters thingy, in
Oh
the
yeah,
pussy.
something dilation. No, something like that.
Yeah, it's medical term.
We don't. I forgot. I watched Grey's Anatomy, and I thought that I would be a medical expert, but apparently I'm not. So yeah.
So they were like, "Wait, oh no, you're ready to give birth," and she was like, "What?" And so they rushed her, and they were like, "Okay, we have to get ready," and she was like, "Wait, what about my anesthesia or
There's no time.
And they were like, "There's no more time." She hasn't learned the breathing exercise
Oh, yeah.
beforehand.
She didn't take
So-
those classes.
Yeah, so they had to do it on the spot. They were like, "Joanne, look at me. We're gonna breathe together." And my mom was like, "Wait, I was going into this pregnancy expecting a smooth delivery with anesthesia, and now she's gonna do a natural birth."
Uh-huh.
And this was happening fast. They were like, "Why is this child
Causing
going-
complications in this smooth delivery.
Yeah, I was coming out fast. You know how some moms, they go to the hospital
And then they
don't
stay
give
there.
birth-
They
yeah,
chill
don't give birth
there.
till, hours later. But the moment my mom was there, they were like, "Oh, she's ready to come out."
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And yeah, it was all that. And I remember my mom was like, she remembered that there were like a lot of people in the room that weren't even helping in the situation. There was like
What do you
some
mean?
random male nurse standing by the side, just like observing. And she was like, why are there people in here that aren't even helping me? Like they're just there to watch. So apparently it's because when in hospitals here, if they find out that the parents are mixed race or
Oh
like
my
mestizo,
goodness.
mestiza, or like a white dad or something like that, they want to see what the baby looks like. For some reason, they were like, "Oh, the baby's gonna be like white or it's gonna be cute, so we want to watch." And yeah, so I come out, and I remember my mom was so weird because I was red. Like, you know how gross like babies come out
Yeah.
when they're born. I was
Yeah.
like gross red, and they were like, "Oh, don't worry, it's nothing wrong. It's normal." And I remember my mom, like, imagine my mom, she's like beaten up, like she's like been through it.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was like, is she okay? Like, does she have like all her fingers, all her toes? And the doctor was like, alam ma'am, wala siyang pututoy. Mom was like, oh my, I'm not in the mood to joke
around. I'm not in the mood.
Like, alam ma'am,
Oh,
like,
sorry.
10 yung toes niya or 10 yung fingers
In
niya.
English, that means he doesn't have a penis. But
Like, oh no, your baby doesn't have a penis. Like, okay, like my mom is not in the mood to joke right now.
like she went through natural birth, no anesthesia.
She was like, who is this doctor? Why is he playing with
my
situations
feelings,
right
yeah.
now? And I have on record, I was born 19.5 inches. I was born bigger than Bimo, my dog. I'll show a picture of her.
I don't know how big I was. Okay.
In length.
Yeah.
I was longer than my dog.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember they said that when they put the babies in like the baby room,
Yeah.
like the newborn babies, and the people like be like, why is there a 1-year-old in the baby room?
I have the same exact story. You know how like a couple days ago I messaged you guys and then my mom was like, oh, like C-section babies, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
Wait, are you done with your story? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Because my side of the story, how I was born. So I'm a C-section baby. So the thing is, like, I have two brothers. They were both normal babies, like normal delivery, stuff like that. But the thing is, for me, I was just being complicated. Like, what else do you expect from this? Like, basically, obviously I was turned around, but the doctor manually, like, tried to massage me to, like, go back for my head to be in normal position. I was, but right when they were about to give delivery, my whole ass body switched back. I was like, yeet! Like, you know what I mean? So I dead ass went back, and yeah, my mom had to get a C-section. And I'm
like, she moving too much.
She moving, like, she played too much.
Like, turn down the music. The baby's hitting it too hard.
Yeah, she played too much. Like, I was having my little party in that little womb. But the thing is, I don't know how long I was, like, my length as a baby, but I know I was, like, 8.5 pounds. And the regular, like, weight of a baby was, like, 6 to 7. So I was, like, a whole ass pound bigger than all the natural babies. But then my mom told me when I was in, the NICU for babies, see, Grey's Anatomy.
A doctor and a lawyer.
Like, the sizes of the babies was like small, and then long, and then small,
1-year-old.
and then a 1-year-old, and then like they were looking through like the window thing, and then my mom and dad were literally laughing because you can't get me mixed up from the baby.
You're not gonna get lost in there.
Literally, they're like, oh, which one's the biggest one right there? The biggest one, that's my baby. Like, that was me. Like, what do you expect?
Like the dramatic entrance.
Yeah, like, these babies could never, whoever was in the room with me that time, all the babies in that NICU, oh my goodness,
They could never.
I won that competition. I was the biggest baby. Oh my goodness. But yeah, my mom was like, oh, that's why you should take care of me. That's why you should, like, be...
Like, you owe me.
owe me. No, son. But you chose to have me. But I love
So
you.
you'll deal with me.
I love you, but then at the same time, I did not choose this life. I did not choose this life. You brought me into this world. You know what I mean? So she was like, that's why you have to be nice to me because you're the C-section baby. I was having a party. Like, let me be. Like, damn.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Sometimes I'm like, if I want to talk back to my mom or call her out, I'm like, wait, I just remembered that she did not have anesthesia when she gave birth to me, and I feel bad. Imagine your first pregnancy, your first and only pregnancy, and it goes down.
Down to hell. But no, other than that, I had this like little despedida goodbye party for my our helper. Our helper's been with us ever since like my first ever brother was born. So, you know, she's been around for a while. She's like my second mother. So that's why I also want to, you know, dedicate this episode to her because she was like my second mom. But the thing is, when we had like the goodbye like dinner party because she's gonna retire, my mom wanted to invite Robin, right? She wanted to invite Robin.
Because I'm part of the family.
Yeah, she said, yeah, you know what I mean? Basic, you know. The thing is, so you know, guys, it's a pandemic. We're wearing masks. My mom was wearing her mask. And she was across the table from me. So I was already like, I ordered the food. So basically we were just waiting for my other brother because he went and bought flowers, right? So my mom mouthed under her mask. She was like, I was like, what? And then she was like, she opened her eyes bigger. And she was like, I was like, huh?
Like moving her mouth for
and I was like,
she's just moving her mouth.
She was moving
but no sound was coming out.
No sound was coming out of her mouth. And I was like, your mask. You're literally wearing, your mask.
And mind you, your mom got mad for
and
her
she
not
got
getting...
she got mad at me for not understanding what she said under the mask.
With no
sound. No sound. Mouthed.
On mute.
Unmuted, okay? But basically, for all those listeners out there, she was mouthing the word Robin because she wanted me to pick up Robin for her to join our dinner.
Yeah.
Because we were nearby, so I was like, "What the heck? Like, why are you saying like?" She was like Robin. She was like Robin, and I was like, and then she got mad at me for not understanding what she said. Under the mask, man. Sometimes my mom be petty for no reason. Like,
and then when you called her out, she was like, "I'm sorry." Then she just laughed. Like,
she was like, "I'm sorry," as if she wasn't just mad at me 5 seconds ago. Like, what the heck?
Lutang things.
I swear. Caught her slipping in 4K. Like, my mom, bro, she'd be funny as hell sometimes. She's
later on, like, what's that?
No, because like she's like this small ass Filipina. She's like 5 flat. 5 flat.
And later on, we were talking about like moving to Canada and what places we were gonna see, and they were talking about Stanley Park and this bridge thingy, like
something like that in Canada, like one of those tourist spots. And stuff like
tourist spots. And her mom was like, please don't cancel me, but I'm just quoting. Okay, I'm quoting.
Mind you, we're talking.
Cut this, okay?
Mind you, we were talking about tourist spots in Canada, right?
And she goes, "Oh, are y'all gonna see the Niagara Falls?" And
we were like,
our heart skipped a beat.
we were like,
"Come again?"
What? Tell me, go. I said.
I spat out the broccoli. I had Chinese noodles mid-serving in my mouth.
My jaw dropped. I said, "What you call me?" Like, what? What'd you say? And she was like,
again,
say it again one more time. And she was like, you'll go to the Niagara Falls. We're like,
Tita, keep your voice down.
There's children. There's children. And then we were like, oh, you meant the Niagara Falls.
And we tried telling her to say it again. And she said, what did she say? Niagara Falls. She added an A. And after that, we just ended the conversation. We were like, you know what? Let's cut the convo here. and move on. Let's forget about what happened, but guess what? We couldn't. Like, like, Tita, I'm taking this to my grave. You scarred me. You took whatever innocence is left from me. My ears are not the same.
Woo, mind you, my man's is black. Mind you, my man's is black. Imagine if he was
And your mom knew, I think.
My mom knows my man's is black. If he was at the table, he would have been like, "What you call me, Tito?"
Say it again. I dare you.
I can't breathe, man.
She was saying in favor of you, babe.
Yeah. She was like, oh, she was just low-key trying to let my dad know what's up. Like, who my man's be.
Like, you had the right intention, just not the right delivery.
Yeah. Nice try, though. Try again next time.
But yeah, just letting you know, Tita, I'm not going to the Niagara Falls with you. I don't want to be with you there.
At Niagara Falls?
Like, OMG, we're finally in the blank falls.
We're not doing that, Mom.
Like,
I'm sorry.
If that happens, I'm like, oh, sorry. I don't know who she is. But I agree with you.
I don't know, man. Oh my god.
I'm as confused as you, random
person
passing by.
I can't breathe,
Niagara
man.
Falls.
My mom be so funny sometimes. Oh my god. Anyway. Girl, what? I don't know. Tell me something about your mom. Does she have does she be caught lacking sometimes? Cause like my mom be lacking hella.
Oh, so I make fun of her for this specific thing. Mm-hmm. She can't tell the difference between Jessica Chastain and Bryce Dallas Howard. They're both redheads.
Insert
I don't
picture.
blame her. They get mixed up.
Insert
by
picture.
Other people. They both went to NYU, and like Bryce Dallas Howard would go to the barista, and the barista would be like, "Oh, Jess, we already have your drink over there." And Bryce is like, I haven't even ordered yet." And they were like, "Oh, Jess, you're so funny." But it's just to the point where it's too much. I can clearly tell the difference between the two redheads. I would show her an interview, and she would be like, "Oh, is that Bryce?" And I'm like, "It's Jessica Chastain, Mom."
I don't know. I can tell the difference. I'm not even familiar with her work, but I can tell the difference.
Yeah, and it's like, oh wait, which one is from the Jurassic World? Which one is the one from like blah blah blah? And I'm like, Mom, you cannot be in a party where both of them are there. You're gonna call them one name,
and you're gonna embarrass yourself.
And I'm like, you cannot be in the same room as them.
Well, you can't come with us to the Met Gala. Like, you know what I mean?
But yeah, one of the things like I guess we could talk about is how do our moms parent us? What are the restrictions? What are the things that they'll let us do? They're okay with it.
I'm gonna let you go first because your mom is completely chill. Like,
so we have moms, but they're completely different in parenting.
Yeah. And as well as other moms out there, you know, every mom has their own methods of disciplining and raising their child, in which is everything is valid. So here's our little story, how our moms raised us. But go, since your mom's more chill, go ahead. You have a lot to say.
So a lot of people are surprised when I talk about my mom with them. I would be in the club and they'll be like, "Oh, like your mom allowed you to come out tonight?" And I'm like, yeah, she knows I'm here. I send her videos and pictures and tell her all the tea that happens that night.
Coffee.
Oh, all the coffee that night. Sorry, Niagara Falls. Anyway.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah, like growing up, like if I wanted to go to my cousin's house, she'd be like, okay. If I wanted to go to my classmate's house, she's like, okay, let me know when you're coming home. And there will be times where sometimes like after school, if we're gonna go to SM or something like that, to the mall or eat somewhere, sometimes I don't even tell her. It will just slip my mind.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it's fine compared to like the typical Filipino moms here. They be tripping. They'll be like, be back at 7 p.m. I'm like, Mom, I'm like a block away. Why do I have to be home at 7 p.m.?
Exactly. A lot of Filipino moms be strict. And I don't know what.
Yeah, like if you have fun today, you can't have fun till the next week.
The next week you have fun once a week. Like that's the typical mom.
And you have to ask permission 2 business days before the actual gala.
Pretty much.
So like yeah, I have no curfew. Very controversial statement here. I don't have a
Very.
curfew. I could be home by 9 a.m. from the
Yeah,
club.
pretty much.
She like she lets me go to the club. She lets me drink. She lets me. As long as I'm hanging out with people I know, like, oh, you're with your friends, okay. You're with Angeline, you're with this person, okay, you're good. And because
Yeah.
her philosophy is that if you say no, you can't, your child
Is
will
gonna find
find
a
a way.
way.
You're
Yeah.
just raising good liars, and she doesn't want that. So she's like, I know if I say no, you're gonna do it anyway. So I'd
Yeah.
rather know what's going on with
Exactly.
you and know that you're safe. Just send pictures, send updates. If you're okay, if you need a pickup, let me know. If something bad
Uh-huh.
happens, it's not your fault. Like, let me know. I'd rather have you safe than you be scared to
To
tell me
approach
what's wrong
her.
because
Yeah.
of how I might react.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's her philosophy. She'd rather have like be open than me
Yeah.
keeping
Yeah.
secrets. And like to reference in our last podcast when we talked about how I got drunk in Silo, that
Yeah.
same night she picked me up because I was puking on the floor. Like I said, I was puking in the toilet and I needed to go home. She
Mm-hmm.
picked me up. No, like it was no problem. She didn't give me shit when I got home.
Yeah, because
She wasn't making fun of
I
me.
was the one who actually called her mom. I was like, okay, yeah, you're done for it. And I knew that her mom was chill about it. So I chatted her mom. I was like, yeah, Mama Jo, you gotta pick her up. She done for it. She done
Yeah,
for
like she
it.
didn't give me shit for it. She was like, "You need water. You wanna lay down and
Mm-hmm.
stuff." This is what happens when she grew up in a strict household,
Yeah.
but she rebelled.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
did the typical like a typical
Filipino,
Filipino
like
does. Like
traditional,
she would
yeah.
sneak out at night, steal her family car,
Car,
and
yeah.
go out. And then when she gets home, just tell the yaya to open the door.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm my mom is kind of like middle of chill and traditional Filipino mom, because like my mom is like really traditional, and towards the beginning, because I started like going out, and like I was exposed to like the bigger crowds in senior high, so that was the only time that I was actually like going out, right? So when I would go out back then, I had to sneak out. I had to say that, oh, I was just gonna sleep over at this person's house, but I was really going to a bar, right? But now, like, I guess the fact that she knows that I would do it regardless, she kind of was just like, okay, you can go out, but she prefers if it's like with people she knows. Like, for
Yeah.
example, Robin. Whenever I say I'm with Robin, she's like, okay, like, because she knows that if there were something to happen, God forbid, but like if there was something to happen, she knows that she can rely on Robin,
Yeah.
and vice versa. Because like, I guess from how long our friendship has been, my mom also like sees her as like a second daughter. So like the fact that I'm out with her, it gives her that like security.
Yeah, like that peace of mind.
Yeah, the peace of mind that she's gonna be okay. So for my mom, her way of handling situations, like the typical like growing up stuff, is I can go out drinking, right? She doesn't like smoking, but no, my mom's kind of in the middle, because she would let me go out, but I've been more open about going out recently, because I guess the fact that I'm like old now, like not old, but like I have my own mind basically. Like they see me as an adult now, so like I'm just more chill now with my mom. But before, she was really like, oh, you have to be home by 12 because your dad's looking for you. You have to do this, do that. Like I got best of both worlds, but it was more of like a transitional phase,
Yeah.
where my mom was strict in the beginning and then stuff like that. But the thing is, a lot of people have said that Paula is always allowed to go out anyways. Okay, they allow me to go out regardless. Like even back in high school, I would be at Robinson's Magnolia just there until like 10 p.m. and they don't care, like
Yeah.
because they know like I'm nearby. So even before, I would just like take grabs and go everywhere and stuff like that. I just have to text them where I am. And basically when it comes to like spontaneous plans, I just tell them, because I know a lot of Filipino moms be like, you have to tell me 2 days before, 3 days before, or something like that. But no, my parents literally like on the spot, on the spot. As long as, again, safe word Robin,
Yeah, and I think it's also because you already proved that you come home safe,
Yeah.
you party safe,
Yeah.
do not drink and drive, kids.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it's because they saw like, okay, she can handle herself. She's
Yeah.
like a grown woman.
Yeah,
And
because the reason being is like even growing up, my mom kind of like taught me as the only girl that I should learn to be by myself. Not to sound like,
Like
oh, she has to be
independent.
alone, like
Yeah.
lonely, but to have that sense of independence and maturity at a young age. So like even back in elementary school, I know here it's like everybody gets picked up by their like helpers and yayas,
Yeah.
but when we were in the States, that as you just walk by home by
Yeah.
yourself. So it was just like, I was literally like experiencing independence, maturity, so like very early on in my childhood. So yeah, no, it's not. But I don't know. For my mom, I don't know. There's not. My mom's kind of like she's kind of
She's Filipino.
she's very Filipino. She's very Filipino. Like her mom is like very baguettes, very
Yeah, that's what happens when you're like you grew up a rebel. She gets it. What I'm doing now, she did it at my age.
She probably
gets
did.
it.
She gets it. She was that. But as for my mom, I guess she wasn't really like that. She did go out partying because her cousin, my Toti, kind of exposed her. She was like, "Oh, we would go to disco," and I was like, You didn't tell me this. Like, you're supposed to be telling me this."
Yeah.
But my mom never really told me that she would go out. And I remember she would sermon me. She was like, "Don't go out. Inom ka ng inom. You keep drinking."
Yeah.
And I was like, later on, I found out she would do the same.
That's the thing. Like there will be parents that would grow up a rebel, but then it can go both ways. They will either be strict to their children because they know what it's like
Yeah.
out there, and they're like, I don't want you to go through that. It's like scary. And guys are like this, blah. But then there's also like my mom who's like, yeah, go. I know what it's like. Go experience it.
Yeah.
Like go through what I went through. Like make
Exactly.
memories, and by like being open about it makes it like more fun. Like you become closer. Like my mom listens to all the tea, or sometimes she's like, oh, what happened to this person? What happened after that situation?
Dude, I'd be shocked as hell that her mom's Loki knows about the shit that's happening with me too. Like even though I don't tell her mom's stuff directly, she's like her mom asks like, "Oh, Angeline, how's ganito?" I'm like, "How'd you know?" I'm like, "Okay, I get it."
She's up with the time.
Yeah.
She's up with the tea.
Like I don't mind that she knows, but it's just like it's so funny to me that she's asking me updates. Like, you're invested, I got you.
Okay, so the other day we were in a video call and talking about some friend drama,
A friend.
and my mom was like preparing food in the side, and she was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, who's this and who's that? Because my phone was on speaker, so she can
Yeah.
hear everything. So she was like, what are you talking about? Like, who's this person? Who's this name? Because she likes to keep up with, the chismes, the coffee. And because she wants to be part of like my group sometimes. Like she will be like, oh, let's go to the comedy bar. Bring Ange and everybody.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to Tagaytay. You guys wanna come? Like
Oh
she's
my goodness.
doing a group invite.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, it's funny how like she like when she told me like, oh, Justin Bieber's performing here, she was like, oh, can I go with you guys?
Oh my goodness. Her mom is literally like she wants to be part of the group. Like, we can be your friends. Come on.
Yeah,
But yeah.
and then she'll be like, I'll do this for you guys. Like, I'll pay for gas. I'll drive. Like, just anything for me to be part of it. She's just like, she's a cool mom, not an ordinary mom.
Yeah, she's not an ordinary mom. But, like, no, her mom is fun to be with. Like, she's like, Popoy. So she calls you Popoy. She's like, Popoy, what are you doing? Can I join you? And I'm like, let's go. She was like, Robin would look at her like, I don't know.
Yeah, because like every time I go out, sometimes like the night before, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to Pico pala bukas.
Yeah.
I'm going to Pico tomorrow until Sunday. And it's like, Thursday or something. She'll be like, okay. Then when I come home, she's like, oh, what happened? What happened? Like, what happened? What's the
happened?
coffee?
Mm-mm.
Like, she's just waiting. And then sometimes, like, I'll be like, oh, I'm near now. I'm on the way home. And then her reply always is, yay.
Yay.
It's not giving me shit or being like, you're gone too long or something like
Where
that.
are you? No, her mom doesn't do. No, but my mom, on the other hand, she doesn't. She's not in my business whenever I'm out. But like when it gets too late in her terms, her terms of too late is like 2 a.m. So I'd be like, oh, I'm still here. She's like, okay. Like she just asked to just double check where I'm at. But then before, I swear, she was on my ass. She was like, asan ka na? 12 a.m. na. Like, where are you? It's 12 a.m. Like, come on. Like,
in the same place I said I was going.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? She used to be like that, but she kind of was more lenient the past couple years, like 2 years. Actually, I feel like the pandemic kind of like messed up her perspective on being strict and stuff, because I guess the beginning of the pandemic really took a toll on like us living our life to the fullest, because we were literally like jailed in our homes during quarantine. But yeah, for no, I just wanted to say a story, because like my mom isn't super proficient in English back then.
Okay.
Because her, like, she knows, here's the thing. My mom knows how to speak Fukien, Mandarin, Filipino, Bisaya.
Yeah.
But English is kind of like, she's good at English, but then before, like, she was kind of like weak with it. So when we first moved to the US, like, you know the scooters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were at like a Walmart or something, and she asked one of like the people at Walmart. She was like, can you help me find the scooter? And then we were like, yeah, it's scooter. They couldn't understand the
Like a scooter?
the accent. And then my mom said, you know, the scooter like this, and she starts pedaling,
Acting it out.
And then I was like, oh, a scooter, and they're like,
scooter.
yeah, a scooter. And then she was like, yeah, the scooter, like. Oh my god, bro, I swear. And then also, like, it was so funny because, like, okay, until now, like, she has a hard, like, she can speak English, like, her grammar is decent, but there's just some words that she has a hard time.
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls, for example.
Exhibit
A. But no, before the Niagara Falls issue, this was way back. So she was like, anak, you get me that shit of paper. Oh my god.
Well, what did he just
What is
Come again?
I was like 5, 7, 6 years old. I don't know. She was like, anak, get the shit of paper.
This shit of paper? This shit of paper.
The shit of paper? Okay. I was like, you mean a sheet of paper?
This shit of paper?
You mean the sheet of paper? Yeah, that shit of paper.
Why couldn't you say paper?
Just say, why do you have to elongate the concept? Why is it on a shit of paper?
It's a paper.
Oh man, she's so funny sometimes.
She knows Filipino English.
She knows Filipino English Filipino English. And then one more. These are the highlights of her accent, I swear. Because we were going to Venus Beach at this time, and I was like, "Mom, where are we going?" Because like I think I was obviously I didn't know much when I was young. Like I don't know where we were. I was just following whatever trip. Like if we're going to Disneyland, it's like, Anak, we're going to the beach. Fuck, bro.
Not again.
Anak, we're going to the beach. Wait, bitch, that's bad word, Mom.
Turn your voice down.
She's like, no, the bitch, like Venice bitch. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. But yeah, she meant Venus Beach. But yeah, I don't know. No, your mom's good in English. I can't say
She's
shit.
Cebuano. Of course she's good in
Cebuana.
English.
So like she knows. Like I know a bunch of like Cebuanas, they be really good in English.
Yeah.
Like they be good in English. But then some be like low-key weak in Tagalog or Filipino, right? Like, yeah. But yeah, that's my like I don't know. My mom specializes in Fukien, Mandarin, Filipino, Bisaya, but
she's
can't do.
juggling
She's
languages.
just like
I don't
there's
blame
too many
her.
words in her
It's
head.
valid.
Yeah, the bitch.
She's a trilingual beach.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. But yeah, like my mom is the type where sometimes she will go behind parents' backs. Like she will be on the child's side instead of the parents. Like
how?
so like for example, like I'll be like, oh, like we're gonna go clubbing, but what they won't let our friend like go, and she'll be like, oh, just like give this excuse, it will work. Like she's suggesting like
What
lying to
excuse?
the
I want to
parents.
hear.
like like she would be like, oh, invite your friends, like, but don't tell I told you. Like like when they crashed like this birthday party of like my ninang,
Oh my
and
goodness.
she was the one that suggested to my ninang like, oh, like can she invite her friends, and we're like, okay, like it's her idea.
Yeah, we literally ate and ran. Like, like we just ate and then oh yeah, we're going home now. I think that's very common with your mom. Any like meetings, any like I don't know, any food event type meet, your mom be like, oh, you invite Ange and let's eat here.
Yeah, just like sneak in.
It works all the time, bro. And I remember when was this, like 2-3 weeks ago? We were at Jade Garden. We ate dinner, and then after we ate, we were like, okay, bye.
Oh, we have to go.
We have to do something.
Yeah, she'll be like, oh, we're having a dinner with the HR people. Why don't you guys join us?
Why not?
I just do call outs.
like free food.
This little thing.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say no to free food.
Like she always finds a way to let us in
Yeah.
anywhere.
Your moms literally are like, I don't know. She's the villain in the story.
Like when I went to
and-
the island, Kaylani was performing. I was 17.
Yeah.
And we didn't know till we were there that they weren't allowing like
minors.
17-year-olds. Yeah. And I'm like, even though we were like, we're not gonna drink, we're literally just here to watch the show. And when we bought the tickets, it didn't say, oh, you
Yeah.
have to be 18. And like, we were talking to this bouncer, and so I didn't want to show my ID. It's gonna say that I'm under 18. So I went on my Facebook, changed my birth
Date.
year.
Yeah, birthday year. Yeah.
and then I showed him my Facebook, and for some reason that was good enough.
He said,
for the
okay, ma'am,
bouncer."
go.
So we got, and she was even suggesting like, oh, do you want a drink? And I was like, Mom, I'm just here to watch the show. And at this time, I wasn't drinking yet. I wasn't like partying yet.
Like
was,
I said in our previous episode,
Yeah, like
I
she-
brought her out.
Exactly. Like I was still 17 in senior high school, and she was the one like asking me if I wanted a drink, and I'm like, no, Mom, I'm just here to watch Kaylani. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if I just stand here and wait. Like I'll stand and wait.
Yeah.
I just want to see Kaylani, but she's the one suggesting.
Yeah,
that I
you get a drink.
And there'll be times where it'll be like a Friday or a Saturday, and she was like,
Oh, you're
"Why
not
are
going
you
out?
home?"
You're not going out?
Yeah, like, why are you home? Don't you have plans? Like, where's where's Paula?
You're like, oh yeah, we're no, tell her to go out. Why are you home on a Saturday, Friday night?
She was like, I did not have to sneak out during my time for you to stay at home during the weekend.
Dude, no, it was because like I remember she would be messaging me. She was like, Dad, do you have plans? I'm like, no, I have a lot to do. She was like, oh, my mom is asking if we're going out.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, Ange has a lot to do kasi.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, why are you not going out? Like, huh?
Yeah,
Like,
cause I'll be like, hey, we didn't plan anything. No one's messaging the
Yeah.
GC, and then she'll be like, no, you should ask them that. You shouldn't wait for an invitation. Just be the one to suggest. And I'm like, okay, demonyo. Like,
her mom is the demonyo
she's
here.
like, "Keep telling me to demonyo, my friends.
Yeah, see, her mom's I told you, she's like the
Yeah.
hero and villain of the story. Like,
Yeah, and she lets me like get tattoos. Another
No
controversial statement.
no shit.
Because yeah, she'd rather know than me get tattoos behind her back.
Yeah,
And
facts.
she was there when I got my first tattoo. She was filming everything on her phone.
Yeah,
She was
from the
like,
stencil to like
yeah, she
the
was
first-
vlogging it.
yeah.
Like she was into it and involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one of the things like I remember growing up, like in my younger years, is I remember like looking back now, I because when you're growing up, you
Yeah.
think, oh, this happens to everyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this kind of parenting is the
It's
same
like
with everyone
typical.
else.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I noticed that I remember in like grade school or high school, and then my classmate told me that because I posted. I had One Direction shirts, and I was like, "Oh, you should get one too," or something like that. And she was like, "Oh, I can't because my parents won't let me because it means I'm idolizing the
Bro,
band.
who
Like
is
I'm
that?
making them my god." And I'm like, "Okay."
Who is that?
I'll tell you after.
Oh my
but-
gosh. Okay.
but I was like, huh, because growing up I realized like my parents let me like dress the way
What you want? Yeah.
I wanted. And I'm gonna show pictures because they would let me wear outfits as a kid which do not match at all. I would wear like print on print.
Yeah.
Like something like
Damn, I've seen
bright-
her kid pictures, bro. I've seen it. I've seen
like
it.
not matching. I would wear like a bright neon green shirt
Uh-huh.
and it would have like the UK flag on it. And then as my pants, it was like this red and white floral pants. And then I wore this 90s, like early 2000s,
Oh my
like the puffy J-Lo hat.
I'm disappointed.
And I would be like, why did you guys let me go out like this? And they were like, we wanted you to wear what you wanted. At that time, you thought it was okay, so we just let you.
Okay, I have my own fashion drama when I was a kid, and I low-key blame my mom for letting me go out like that. Like, I'm so ugly in those
Show
pictures.
send pictures,
Yeah,
please.
I'm gonna show you the pictures. I am gonna show you the pictures. I had this shirt. I went to the Grand Canyon. My shirt said "Peace Rocks." Oh my goodness! Oh, Peace Rocks.
Yeah, like they just let you wear whatever you want. I would wear 1D shirts to the mall. I would wear what like looking back, it's like embarrassing, but they let me because they were like, because you wanted to wear it.
Yeah.
You chose to wear that, and they would even let me wear makeup. Like they wouldn't say anything about my eyeliner or my eyeshadow or whatever lipstick I had on. Like it was just like, okay, let's go. Like they wouldn't make me feel bad for it. They wouldn't be like, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because I know people. I know this one girl that that went to my high school. She was a year above me, and I remember she told this story about how she got ready. She looked cuter than me. She looked innocent, like forma, like pang BGC, like pansa, like not anything
Revealing
sexy.
like that, yeah.
It was like regal and casual.
Yeah.
You know, like, and she had like makeup, this natural makeup for going out. And before she was leaving, her strict ass dad was like, take it off. He was like,
Who's
remove-
that? Oh my
like
goodness.
you don't know the girl, but she was a year above me, and she transferred to a different high school. But like he told her to take off her makeup, and she said that she even like cried about it. And I'm like, why are you like you're gonna do it anyway? It's inevitable that I'm gonna put makeup on and wear
That's
these
so
type
annoying to
of
me.
clothes.
That's so annoying.
You're just causing trauma.
That's so annoying to me.
And
Like,
you're making me like dissect myself and be insecure. Like, why? Like, did I look ugly? Did it not
Yeah.
look good?
I know a lot of people that experience something like that. They say they can't do this, can't
Yeah.
color their hair. They can't do this because you're too vain. If you're too vain, you're
Like,
drawing
you're
attention
seeking
to yourself.
attention.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people go through that, but I'm one of the people that are blessed with a mom that kind of just like, she's strict, but then
Lets it slide.
lets it slide sometimes, especially because she understands she's a woman herself. Like, and like, you know how like a lot of people say like, oh, when women put on makeup or try to like look pretty, they be like, oh, are you trying to look pretty for men? No, it's for ourselves. And
Yeah, I
like,
feel good about how I
it's
look.
for ourselves. And like, literally, I'm so glad my mom understands and has that same mindset that it's not for the guys. Like, you know what I mean? But I have like my mom, although she does understand me in that way, she's still a very traditional Christian mom where like I can't wear short stuff. Like, you know how the rules at school where you have to like an
Can't
inch.
go above the
Yeah,
knee.
can't go above the knee. Like it has to be an inch below your middle finger when it's on the side. That's kind of like the concept. I have shorts that I wear when it's hot as hell. And before she would be like, "Oh, why are you wearing that? Like it's too short." I'm like, "It's shorts. What
It's summer,
what
mom.
do you want me to wear
Sweat my
long
ass off.
like you want me to wear like those like jean shorts to the knees?
Yeah.
Like I know some people can pull that off, but bro, I mean not me, bro. Like if it's hot, I want to
Yeah,
wear
be comfortable.
be comfortable. So before she was like that, but then to the point that I kept doing it because I'm like
It's inevitable.
I'm not about to go out and wear sweatpants or
And wearing
everyone else
shorts.
is wearing shorts. The Philippines is not a cool country.
Like
It's
like
not.
the jersey basketball shorts, that's an outfit here.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean. Like for me, like I personally don't get too revealing. Like if I'm wearing shorts here, I kind of balance it off
Yeah.
with my top. I don't wear shorts and then like a spaghetti strap. You know what I mean? I know it's not, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just like for me, my personal preference, I don't. So if I'm revealing down here, I have to kind of like cover up here,
Yeah.
or vice versa. So I'm like, what's your problem?
Like,
It's
yeah,
hot.
You know how to style yourself.
Yeah, so it's hot. Like I know that people will look because first off, I mean, for a typical Filipino,
Yeah.
we're not the height of the
Yeah.
typical Filipinos. I'm like what 5'6", almost 5'7", something like that. I know there are girls taller than me, but then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When walking in the crowd,
Yeah,
we kind of stand out, you know. So like I'm aware that people will look at me, but at the same time, you teach me to be independent? Didn't you teach me to
Yeah.
stand up for myself? Didn't you teach me to be all these things? So I'm like, when there's any ounce of doubt from my mom on me being able to protect myself, I'm kind of just like offended. Like, didn't you teach me to be strong? Like you
Yeah.
weren't you my role model as a woman? So it's just like sometimes I get so annoyed with that concept, but now it's just kind of like chill about that. So that's why I'm wearing shorts now. So you can't see it all. Like
Yeah, and like another underrated thing is also like my mom also wouldn't care about like what my relatives would think, because like in my mom's side it's a lot of like the typical, yeah, Filipino titas, lolas, relatives that would like if I show up like this, I know they're gonna talk shit, but
what? Oh, like what?
cause I look outrageous. I don't look like my cousins who are
Like a
the
demure
typical
type?
black haired,
Yeah,
typical
demure.
black hair, simple makeup, Filipino looking,
Yeah.
but then my mom like doesn't care. She's not like, I noticed like in other families they're like you're embarrassing me, like I'm being linked to you as your parent and people are gonna see that you look like this and I'm gonna look bad as a parent, and it's like making them feel like a burden, but it's like my mom doesn't care. It's like, yeah, her hair is like that, yeah, she has these
Yeah.
tattoos, yeah, and she's like ready to defend me if ever
Yeah.
someone tries to
Yeah, she should.
like she's not afraid to stand up for me even if it's her own family.
That's yeah. So I actually like the fact that your mom does that. I think I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with moms who don't do that, but it kind of just has like it's easier for the child to like be comfortable with their kids, and I feel like a lot of moms should focus on that too. I do love my mom. She did do a lot for me, and I know a lot of moms have done that for their own kids, but I think one thing that I realized from like just being around your mom, also just everything else, just everybody else's story is just like I realized that despite the fact that everyone has their own style, I think mom should also focus on not just being a mom but also being a friend to their kid, right? And I guess to close off this episode, what is one favorite memory that you have with your mom? Like, what's one that stands out?
That's the thing, like it's not just one, but like the one common thing is like we just like hanging out, like we like watching like crime documentaries together, and then just times where we're just like we would talk about something random and then just laugh our ass off,
Yeah.
or like just like bonding and hanging out. Sometimes we would like laugh out loud as if we're like best friends,
Yeah.
or something, giggling over something stupid.
Yeah.
Because my mom has a very like babaw sense of humor.
Yeah.
If you think I'm corny, she's even cornier.
Times times
Like
two.
where she says something and you look at her and like
She'll just laugh
give
by
her a
herself.
judgmental look, and
She'll
she's
laugh
just
by herself.
giggling like she said the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. Well, as for me, my favorite thing is, although like my mom and I just recently like low key broke down walls in terms of like the whole being friends aside from the mother daughter relationship. Like, I think one thing is just me being able to open up about like my relationships now. Like before I couldn't do that because you're like mag-boyfriend ka after college,
Yeah.
or like don't do this because now I guess it came with the age too, and I guess it kind of also just me proving my own independence and maturity, that I have been able, like my favorite thing, although it may like it's kind of deeper than it sounds, it's the fact that I'm able to like low key open up to my mom now, and I know not everybody has that, you know, opportunity, but it will come, and mine took a while, but I still like the fact that we got to that point. You know, it's like even though it happened later than other people, it still came in. So
Yeah,
that's one
better
thing.
late than never.
Yeah, better late than never. You know, I'm happy about that. So that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed listening to our Mother's Day special. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. If you want to hear more about our podcast, follow our social media on Instagram at Perfectly Unstable Pod, and for our TikTok, Perfectly Unstable Pod.
We're on Spotify, YouTube.
For Spotify, it's Perfectly Unstable Podcast, and then for YouTube, same thing, Perfectly Unstable Podcast. And if you want to know more about your co-host, my Instagram is PaulaXRV.
Robin KCJ.
And that's it for today's Daddy Coffee. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye.